Good morning and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna and this morning we're visiting with Kevin Lyons. He's the Monroe County Extension Agent for Agriculture and Natural Resources. At the end of the month, there'll be the Kentucky Farm Bureau's convention that they'll have, and a lot of our farmers will be going to Louisville to do all kinds of great work for agriculture.
Yeah, well, Farm Bureau their slogan is, they're the voice of agriculture. They've been around about, I think it's 103 or 4 years now. They had their 100th anniversary just a few years ago. And so there'll be a lot of excitement at the annual meeting. Their president, Mark Haney, is stepping down as president after 15 years. So there'll be some elections, but there'll be a lot of networking and lobbying for agriculture going on there.
And I know you've served on the Kentucky Farm Bureau board, and I just want to talk about today, a lot of times people think about Farm Bureau and they think about insurance, but there's another part of Farm Bureau that really works for agriculture.
Absolutely. The Federation side is separate from the insurance side, but the Federation, kind of owns the insurance company, but they try to keep those separate, and that insurance program that benefits a lot of people is part of the Federation. So the Federation takes care of all the lobbying, both in the county level, state level, and through American Farm Bureau at the national level. So that's their goal, is to look out for the interest of farmers, and a lot of that is the legislative process and context that they have.
Absolutely. Now, anybody can become a member of Kentucky Farm Bureau Federation just by simply paying dues. You don't have to have an insurance policy. Is that correct?
That's true. There's several folks that do that. There's several businesses that do that. But the insurance is a benefit, so to have the insurance, you have to be a member.
Most local, communities have a local Kentucky Farm Bureau or a local like Warren County Board or Monroe County Board, and that group of farmers, they meet and they come up with things called resolutions and policies. Can you explain how that process works?
Absolutely. I just kind of started as our county president just a few weeks ago, and been involved with it for longer than I care to admit, since my early 20s, which was a while ago. But the resolutions, that's what I really like about Farm Bureau and their lobbying efforts. It's grassroots. It's bottom up and not top down. So each county has opportunity to meet. The resolutions committee will kind of gather the broad ideas. Their county board will kind of filter it down and get it more precise. But those resolutions go up to the state resolutions committee. They look them over, make sure it's not already in the policy book or if it's valid type issue, and then they get voted on at the annual meeting. So it's definitely a volunteer-driven process.
And that they take those different resolutions and they work on those locally, state level, as well as nationally.
That's right. Their policy book is pretty broad. I don't know if there's anything in it that's not already covered sometimes, but they definitely will look at things and try to help address that issue. And most of the time it's either through legislative or regulation, something like that.
Now, you mentioned you've been involved with Farm Bureau since your 20s, and I think that's an important thing to talk about because they do have a lot of programs for young farmers. And so if a young farmer is sitting out there and they want to get more involved in their community, I would encourage them to reach out to their local Farm Bureau.
Absolutely. We've had that happen numerous times, seems like in the last 4 or 5 years. Sometimes you have to recruit young farmers. But the young farmers, their program is typically up to about 35 years of age. And just contact your local, anybody on your local board will help you get started, start coming to some meetings, get a feel for it. And the Generation Bridge is a program that's been out a couple of years, and it's like for 35-year-olds up to 49-year-olds, kind of filling that gap that was kind of lacking on leadership development, keep you involved, give you opportunities to move on up the ladder if you'd like to.
Because there's like leadership conferences and educational conferences that are targeted for the young farmers and Generation Bridge. So it's a really great way to connect and be a bigger part of agriculture.
Absolutely. The networking, the exchange of ideas, the teamwork, the collaboration on projects, there's a spot for everybody.
All right, Kevin. We'll certainly appreciate the information and all the work that you've done with Farm Bureau over the years. But if you have questions, we would encourage you to reach out to your local Farm Bureau board. Look that up. You can call the office and they can give you the contact information. But be involved. It's a great organization to be involved with and make a difference in agriculture.
Absolutely.
All right, Kevin. We appreciate you watching the Farm and Home Show. We hope you have a great day.